Alright, this was a disruptor. He used to be here. He's not there anymore. Alrighty, game number 2 here of Team Secret versus Virtus Pro. This is the last chance qualifier upper bracket final here, which means with the format that the winner of this game will qualify for the group stage of the International 11. So super hype match here. Secret is up 1-0 and this is game number 2. So looking at the matchups here, we are going to have Crystallis playing his Monkey King. This is a signature hero for him. When he first went onto the scene, everyone knew him for this hero. Very, very comfort pick. Speaking of comfort picks, also on Team Secret, we have Puppey playing the Chen. A very iconic hero for him as well. Nisha will be going mid with the Lina. A little bit of action here real quick. It looks a little chill here, but for the off lane of Team Secret, the dynamic duo, Zayat's on his Nyx Assassin. I think at this point he's like 7-1 on this hero, absolutely beast record. And Resolution playing the Primal Beast in the off lane. And on the other side here, Team Virtus Pro, Ramses on the Luna, heading over to the safe lane. Yamich gonna be playing the Clockwork, position 4 here. DM playing off lane Undying here, starting with the Basilius. GPK playing the mid lane Tuskar. Last but not least, Hakoda will be playing his Disruptor. Standout player on this hero for this tournament so far. This guy is a beast on Disruptor. So just looking at the laning stage here and how we're going to set up, looks like Hakoda, their position 5 player, is going to actually link up with their position 3 player, DM, and have an Undying Disruptor lane, and then they're going to move the Clockwork into the Lunas lane. It looks like they just want to have like kind of like a balanced laning stage where you have, you know, one ranged hero pairing with one melee hero, regardless if it's the POS 4 or POS 5. They're just gonna offer that. The courier taking some damage here. Very close to dying there. That would have been very sad if he didn't get his tangos and the courier ended up dying. But meanwhile, on Team Secret here, they do have Chen and Monkey King going against this Undying Disruptor lane. In the mid lane, GPK, I believe he did have last pick this game, so he chose to play this Tusk into the Lina mid here. That was his choice. And then on the off lane here, for Team Secret, Ramses and Yamich will be going against Zayats and Resolution here. Luna Clockwork versus Nyx Assassin and Primal Beast here. So look a little bit for like lane predictions for me on like how the lanes should be going. I fear a lot for this Luna laning against a Primal Beast because of this. You're about to see it. You can charge in, he ends up canceling it. So the best way to deal with Primal Beast is have an escape mechanism so you can get away from the trample or you stun him. Luna doesn't really have either. Like, you can kind of like mini stun him during the trample, but you have to turn to do it, and it's not that great. So he's fully relying on Yamich, which is a great hero, by the way, versus Primal Beast, to stop him from trampling, stop him from using Onslaught, stopping him from using Pulverize. Battery Assault's annoying for all of that. And you also can, oh, meanwhile on the top lane here, looking, Resolution just found it. We talked about it just a second ago. Luna does not have a way to deal with this trample here. So if you do get in a situation where he is on top of you and your Clockwork is not hugging you and babysitting you, that will happen. And that is a bit of a sad death there for Ramses. A very difficult lane for him at this point. Yamich is going to have to sit there and babysit him. Ramses is probably just like, bro, don't leave me again. Like, this hero, this hero's going to mess me up. Meanwhile, taking a look at the mid lane here, 11-4 on Nisha, compared to GPK's 11-2 here, so pretty even in the mid lane so far. Bot lane, they picked the Monkey King into this Undying here, and it looks like there's gonna be a little bit of fight here as they go on to Hakoda here. Trying to get the proc. They will kill Hakoda here. They got a big wand as well. So DM dropping the tombstone, getting some right clicks off, and looks like they're gonna go back to the laning stage here. As it looks like Crystallis will lose some creeps here, but in the CS department, we do have Crystallis here sitting at 12-0. The Undying's 13-5. Meanwhile, on the top lane, the trample, it's happening again. But you're gonna kind of see here like why this Clockwork is really good versus the Primal Beast. And so the trample will start. But the Clockwork, the mini stun will continuously interrupt the trample, and if you get the cogs as well, Primal Beast will just be stuck in them, as it is very hard to onslaught out of the cogs while Battery Assault is running. So very good by Yamich there to now be in the lane with Ramses, making sure he does not get initiated on. Meanwhile, in this bottom lane here, this Monkey King was counterpick to the Undying off lane. So this is Secret's choice. Crystallis wanted his Monkey King versus the Undying. Still losing the lane here as the Undying, a bit of a BS hero. Like, I'm not sure if there is any carry hero that actually beats this hero. Yet I've yet to see it. But meanwhile, on the top lane, Resolution and Zayats again going on to Ramsey. The mini stun is there, but we talked about the battery assault and the cogs, keeping Ramsey safe for now. All right, a little bit of uproar damage, but nothing to come of it.
Moon's blessings.
Oh, Zayat's actually stacking. This is a really good move. Like, when you're off laner, doesn't really need much help, and in this case, Primal Lucy doesn't. Instead of just sitting there leeching EXP, you can always stack camps. And so he ends up stacking these camps here, and this will easily be cleaned up by either Primal Beast himself or Nisha on the Lina. So obviously you need to have heroes on your team that can clear the camps. I would not recommend doing this if you don't have heroes that can actually deal with the stacks. But in this game, they got plenty, so very efficient play by Zayats as he moves in. 5 minutes and 30 seconds, he's waiting for the 6-minute rune to help Nisha get this power rune. And with this power rune, Nisha will have the option to either farm more and faster, or potentially make a gank here. But Zayats not walking back and forth. I think the right place to secure the rune, as Hakoda's also here for the rune. 6 minutes, that's when the first power rune of the game does spawn, so it can be very critical. I think mainly this game to deny it from GPK, because Tusk is a hero that wants to rotate on the map. But meanwhile, GPK, a little bit of trouble, gets the Laguna to the face. There's a regen rune here. Zayats going in, and Pale is just not there. And that's regen will be popped by GPK, as we do have 6 heroes in this mid lane, as we often see at the 6-minute mark to secure that power rune. Little update on like itemizations and laning here. So Crystallis still in the bot lane here, just going for, it looks like a power treads on his Monkey King. Not really giving us any more insight as to what he's doing here. DM going for the arcane boots here, just spamming out this decay. Still ahead in CS, but the Monkey King is now recovering quite well against this Undying. Mid lane here, Nisha. Interesting enough, he has arcane boots queued up, which means he's gonna go the magic damage build with arcane boots. But meanwhile, GPK going on the mid lane, on the bot lane here. See what happened. Hakoda and DM on the bot lane here. Decay is there. Monkey King's HP 520 with 12 stacks of decay on him. Tombstone is dropped, glimpsed right back into the tombstone, and one more decay and they will easily wipe out that Monkey King there. Nisha mid lane, arcane boots. Surprisingly enough, going for the magic build. There's 2 types of Lina builds out there. One of them is you go on the Falcon Blade, BKB, Boots of Travel if you're feeling frisky in there, until it's just all DPS items, the Silver Edge, maybe Satanic. It really depends on the game from there. But then there's the Arcane Boots build, where you're getting like an early Aether Lens, you're going to the Aghanim Scepter, the Kaya and Sange build. GPK going the mid lane, harassing just a little bit, but in the top lane, yet again, we're seeing how much of a pest this Clockwork can be to Primal Beast. And here we go. Resolution goes in. The trample is there. Sees the Clockwork. Instantly has to go back. He cannot use any spells here. Just having to right-click the Clockwork, as the battery assault will cancel the pulverize if it is committed there. So wisely does not. About 8 minutes in the game here. Next power rune coming. We can go ahead and switch to net worth safely now, as creeps do not matter as much as your overall net worth. And speaking, all right, so Zayats, a little bit of trouble there, will go down by Yama. She catches him in the cogs with the help of Ramses. At the same time here, on the bottom lane here, the Penitents with the Monkey King getting the Jingo stacks up really fast. There 3 points in Jingo, a lot of damage there, will instantly kill him. Puppey with a very, I don't even know what the meta build is on Shen right now, to be totally honest with you. A lot of players aren't playing it, but in this game, he is going for the Penitence build, and instead of like the Divine Favor. So that's an additional 50 attack speed for his Monkey King on the target, as well as slowing him down, getting some easy kills there. GPK hasted in the top lane here. Raindrops are procced by the rocket there, a little bit annoying. Will they be a backup on time? Not quite. Snowball damage will be there. Punch is there on top of it. Resolution, no getting out of that one. Zayats tries to wound them Pale, but he is just donezo. Ramsey's going for the Mask of Madness. Very fast farming item here. Oh, you know, GPK and Nisha They're gonna have a little of a battle here. Mainly just Nisha just pulling him out of the jungle just to secure the stack here, to farm it. Puppey going for mech here. Pretty much what every Chen does. I think a pro tip for a lot of Chen players, you shouldn't be ganking with your creeps too much in the early game because it's pretty sad. It's not really gonna work. Mainly just focus on farming your mech and then making rotations with your team with that early mech is way more impact than, you know, trying to get a gank off with your early level creeps. So as you'll see, Puppey will take a lot of time either stacking, farming, maybe helping out here and there. He's got really good micro for the most part. You know, it's Puppey Chen. So he might just end up stacking ancients or something with this creep while also just farming on his own. GPK, nice little stun there. Glimpse backwards. Side's a little bit of trouble here. Is he just dead? He's just dead there. GPK will just end up solo killing him, giving him the tip as well. As Yamich refills his bottle. Crystallis going Echo Saber, Orbic Corrosion here, not really going for a farming build. And that is mainly just because he is not a hard carry this game. Like, he wants to be active, he wants to play fast on the map. Of course, Luna will definitely out-farm him. But meanwhile, he's got the Wukong's commander. He'll use it. DM ends up using his Flesh Golem here as Crystallis. Oh, that's a nice impale by Zayats, as perhaps Crystallis would not have had the range to get that last hit there without it. Yeah, but back to the Monkey King build here. He's just gonna play the battle, have early aggression, knowing that his mid is also a carry, because Lina's a hero that will farm a lot, so he might need to be a little more active in this game. Puppey will heal himself up a little bit. He's got the army there. The glimpse back is there, as they will glimpse Crystallis back to the bottom lane here. And Nisha will clean up Yamich here. And it's support for support trade here. A little bit in the favor here of VP there, as this Chen is much higher net worth than that Clockwork. And all along, Ramses with his Mask of Madness has been farming. Am I seeing this correctly? How did Ramses have 2 salves of resolution? So resolution dropped a mango and a healing salve to go to that mid fight, and Ramses just picks them up for himself. I mean, obviously he can't use them, but that's rip 200 net worth for resolution there. I don't think resolution cares that much because he's not really gonna need that region anymore, but pretty strange. But it would be sweet. It's a debate. As they do have the Spike Carapace there, Resolution gonna get some revenge for his healing salves that were stolen away from him. Puppey Chen, mech is online. This is the power spike of Chen, one of the many power spikes, but this is the first power spike outside of the laning station. So now, Puppey's gonna play a little more aggressive into the enemy faces here. He's got the Seeds of Serenity, casting the active Verdurous Dale. Whatever these new item names are, very interesting. In the top lane, Resolution trying to push out this top lane. Puppey also just going for efficiency here, checking runes, but in the other side of the map here. Bottom lane here, Yamich gets caught here. Zayats and Crystallis, they're playing the map really well here. It's kind of like a 2-1-2 effect, I call it, where you have like 2 top, 1 mid, generally speaking, and 2 bottom, trying to punish things like that. Even though Virtus Pro had 4 to 5 heroes bottom, because Secret were set up there, they end up getting a kill there. Sure, they still lose their tower, but they get a free kill while still farming the whole map. They farmed all the top, they were farming mid in the meanwhile, so the net worth advantage does go to Team Secret there. As yet again, Crystallis will show on this bottom lane as Zayats kind of just sits around here. Yet again, the 2-1-2 formation here. This is the formation to try and maximize your farming efficiency. Because if you have a hero in every single lane, you can be potentially farming more creeps than your opponent. And you'll see VP is also adapting that strategy here. The only risk that comes with this is if the other team brings more heroes than you, you just have to be a little careful of feeding too many kills. And this is generally how most pro teams will play in the early laning stage, as item timings are not yet online to group up really hard, so you're really just trying to play for these timings. And meanwhile, they're gonna find Zayats, as there is a random sentry on the ground for when they were taking the tier 1, and they will get the kill. But he does reveal that there are 3 heroes bottom now, and Crystallis will go back, and as he goes backwards, Resolution will now have the Q that top is safe, and he will push it out. And Nisha just farming it up. You know, this is what Lina does. You're not much of a ganker. If you get a rune, maybe you can do it, and it looks like Nisha will consider it here, as he has pop the Invis rune, and then he's like, F it. I'm just gonna go hit some more creeps here, just denying the rune away. These runes are much more impactful on GPK on his Tusk, as he can actually make some rotations and wants to look for rotations, whereas Lina, this hero is just really good at farming, a fast farm, and that's what they're gonna go for. And the item build on Nisha, very interesting. I thought she might go for Ags first with that damage build, magic damage build, but opting to go for the Aether Lens. And then now also going for the Kaya. And it has a Aghanim Shard queued up. And then you have to imagine after that, surely the Aghanim Scepter will come, as they have, you know, taken it straight from the anime. And now Lina can fly in the Cloak of Flames here. But increasing spell amp by 30%. Magic resistance, a little bit random there, 35%. And the duration will be 6 seconds on that one. A very powerful ability. Resolution closing in on his BKB. BKB, very, very powerful tool this game. It's not invincibility this game, but a lot of magic damage coming out here from the VP squad, getting silenced by Static Storm, Clockwork, stopping with Battery Assault. Now if they do want to stop you with your Trample and / Pulverize, they're gonna have to commit spells like the Walrus Punch and the Hook Shot, which might not always be available here, so really crucial item timing here for Resolution here, and he's just very close to this timing too. VP, they're gonna smoke up, heading to the bottom lane. GPK just finishes Blink Dagger. This is an item timing. They want to see if they can find the carry, one of the two carries of Team Secret here, either the Lina or the Monkey King. But Crystallis, he knows, playing very safe here, has not really left his bottom lane this entire game, and that is totally fine. And he's kind of like in a situation, you'll notice he's the lowest farmed core on his team, and that's just his life right now, because when you have a mid carry like Lina, she's gonna farm everything. Crystallis knows that. Probably Nisha's the win condition in this game, so he's gonna squeeze out every little bit of farm he can on this bottom lane, which is the most contested lane. In the bottom lane, Zayat's here, will get dusted. I'm just punched out of this game here. But yeah, but to go back on that point here, Lina, carry mid, gonna take a lot of farm. He realizes that, giving Nisha the farm priority, but he also has a Primal Beast, realizing this BKB timing is a necessity for this hero. And of course, last but not least, you've got Puppey on your team, so the immediate jungle will be occupied, as he will be farming that on his position 5 Chen there, which kind of just leaves some of the scraps here in this bottom lane here. He probably knew that going into this game as well, and that's why you don't see like a greedy build like the Battle Fury or something, just going for an Echo Saber, you know, Orb of Corrosion straight into the BKB, just wants to get those essential items for fighting and not for farming. Nisha has 2 shards queued up, wondering if he knows you can only buy 1. All right, mid lane here. Vladimir's is online. Resolution cancels the trample. GPK gives a bit of a lull. 17 minutes in this game. Puppey, position 5. Meanwhile, sorry, Yamich, a little bit of trouble here. Hook shot momentarily stops him, but he gets pulverized regardless of that, as the Monkey King has joined the fight. Resolution BKB will be expended for that kill, but well worth it nonetheless. Glimpse back onto Zayat, getting the carapace off. Getting a little bit of stun there. As we're saying, the position 5, Puppey Chen. 17, 18 minutes in this game already. Look at this man's net worth. Vladimir's mech already online. As you'll see, the way this team kind of functions. This net worth of Puppey was kind of taken away from Crystallis. Not that it's a negative thing. It's just a difference of approach and how to play the game. Very sacrificial role Crystallis is playing in this game. And you got to respect players that know how to just like either be the star when they need to be, as we've seen on his Morphling in several games, and just know when to like take the backseat and trust your teammates and distribute the net worth evenly amongst your team.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
GPK, he finds Crystallis here, but Resolution's here. Yamich goes in. GPK, no more punch available, but he does have the snowball, and Resolution will slam GPK into the ground, as Yamich will also go down simultaneously. Going for a bit of an ambitious play there, as the Chen didn't even have to use his ultimate there. GPK and Yamich, I don't know in what world they thought that was going to work, killing the Monkey King with 2 heroes there, and Nisha just Lagunas Roshan to proc the Lincolns so they could get the penitence there. Why not? They had no other spells that could do it. Hurts the mana pool a bit, but does kill the Roshan faster. I can't get over, like, how much damage does GPK and Yamich thought they had is right in front of a tier 1 tower. That was a crazy play to me. Like, I feel like that should never work, but, and it didn't. Maybe a little bit of nerves here, as they are 1 game from getting dropped into the loser bracket here. Nisha, now with the shards. Boots of Travel are online. Still delaying this Aghanim Scepter as he has 3 tomes queued up. All right. So we end up missing the Static Storm combination here onto the Nyx. Zayat, he actually juked the stun from GPK here too. Does not get the shards or the Walrus punch off somehow. And he will walk his way away, going for a Desolator on this Tusk. And I dare say this Tusk pick is not really impressing me so far in this game. Even if he does get a Desolator, I feel like he might switch that to a BKB pretty soon here, or he is just going to get destroyed in the fights here. Meanwhile, Yamich, not Yamich, that's DM, my bad. He's got a BKB himself. Now going for a Shard and a Blink Dagger. Just a casual plate mill here. He can turn that into a Lotus Orb later if he wants to. Uses for a Lotus Orb this game are mainly just, it is good enough for the sole purpose of just canceling Pulverize. Because it'll cast a Pulverize back onto him and he'll never ever be able to use Pulverize as long as there is a Lotus Orb available. Or if he's BKB'd. So there's an Optic Crystallis. Finds Hakoda here. But team is not nearby as they are still farming it up. Team Secret kind of showing like glimpses of like previous iterations that I thought were like super dominant. I mean, not that I thought they were super dominant. They were super dominant, but they're using a similar playstyle of like not really doing much on the map, but making sure they farm and they make these small little macro plays on the map. Like Zayat is doing, really just putting together everything as Resolution will come in, get glimpsed back, but he'll get the kill first onto Yamich here. As VP are unsure of how to play the map here. GPK will be farming it up. Is he committing to the Desolator? Oh my, he is actually committing for a Desolator. He does have Deso available, now going for the Aghanim Scepter. Uses for this Deso, I mean, it makes him hit really hard here. Maybe if he gets on top of the Lina, a bit squishy here, low armor. I mean, there's a world that can work, but they got to play the pickoff game here. But I think with this choice, this now solidifies that VP will never be able to team fight Team Secret here. Into this Chen with the Wraith Pack mech. You know, Monkey King ult with the BKBs available on 2 cores here. With the Nyx Assassin, there's too many stuns to disable. I think it is very difficult for VP to take any team fights in this situation. But they will punch Resolution here as he does get the BKB off after the punch. Taking a lot of damage. Now just using the ultimate onto Ramses here. Ramses pops the BKB, tries to get out here. And it looks like Ramses might get a kill onto Puppey here. Yes, they will. Yamich goes down too. And it looks like VP now have to retreat as they no longer have... Hold up. We got Giga Chad plays here. I would say he Manta dodged that, but I think the range just wasn't there, so no need to hold up. But Nisha TPing to the bottom lane, seeing Ramses fleeing here. There's a TP on cooldown, actually, Zayat. I don't know if they know it, but they're going to go in anyway. And what is that cast range? All right, Nisha's going to find Ramses here with the Aether Lens. There's Spell Amp as well on the Agility Vambrace. This Lina is hitting hard. Every nuke, 433 damage on the Light Strike array. For some reason, this doesn't update on damage. That is very bizarre when you hold ult. I don't want to do the math, whatever. But the Laguna Blade, also not updating unless we get in the game. Point being, there's a lot of damage coming out from this Lina, and she almost has the Aghanim Scepter here. Gonna be very, very close to completing that, and that will give you an additional 30% spell amp on top of the ridiculous amount of spell amp already combined with the Vambrace, the Kaya. Level 20, you're gonna get 11% more spell amp. This is the Magic Lina build for you. The spells start doing a lot of damage, and not to mention the Shard. You get more damage per Fiery Soul charge on every single ability. Excellent. Which won't even go into the tooltip here. It's just an absolute absurd amount of magic damage. Incredibly squishy, this Lina. Incredibly squishy if they get on top of her with no BKB, no mobility items whatsoever on this hero. But that's kind of like the glass cannon approach here. But if they don't deal with this Lina, the damage output is absolutely insane. As the hook shot barely misses Nisha. All right, he's flying. And there it is. We just talked about the damage. This is Core Undying, by the way. Turns it up here. 2 spells. And 2 spells. Ends up killing this Undying. Moving on to this fight here. Resolution will charge in. Unstoppable now. Looking to go for more. He does have the BKB. We'll use the Pulverize here. We'll get canceled immediately by the Lucent Beam. And Crystallis, GPK, Deso ain't helping you much there, my friend. Yeah, it's fine. Losing does suck. And VP starting to feel that right now. A very appropriate voice line for this game here. And I'm afraid in the fights here, GPK, his item selection will not allow him to do any sort of lockdown on this Lina and stay into the fight here. Until he has his Ags, that's his next choice. He will try to kick. Oh my gosh. All right. Nisha's just murdering kids over here in the back as Disruptor goes down in one Laguna Blade. They'll mop up the Tombstone. All right, Yamich on the run. All right, this was a Disruptor. He used to be here. He's not there anymore. He will go down. GPK getting mopped up again. That's the only choice VP have here, is to just split the map. All right, Yamich was actually going for the Aghanim Scepter, a very popular item this tournament on the Clockwork. And for different reasons too. A lot of people have been abusing the Rocket Flare with the Aghanim Scepter, overclocking and giving tons of vision for their team. But it also has many other uses as well. But he's realizing there's a problem in this game and does an audible here and switches into the Force Staff without even completing the Aghanim Scepter first. So what can VP do in this game? They're down 12,000 gold. Ramses is the only core that has any resemblance of farm. I'm not entirely sure. It's very difficult. I think they just have to keep ratting. I think GPK has already made his mistakes here. I think either rushing this Aghanims could have been a good choice, or going straight into BKB so they can fight. But this was not a game where they're like crushing, where I feel like he could go for Deso and he's gonna fake, he's gonna kill his magic wand. Excuse me? GPK? Why did he just kill his magic wand? Is he like tilted or mad, or? Either way here, he does have the Blink Dagger available. No more magic wand for him. Glimpse will be there onto Resolution. Resolution will pop his BKB and then Tombstone Prowl Driver. GPK into the ground here as Luna used to be there. There was a Luna here. This is their carry. He's just dead. Like, this Laguna Blade was like 2,000 damage overkill. Pretty much just dies in 2 nukes here from Nisha. And that's it. I guess the communications are this game's over. It's a donezo. Team Secret, a hell of a show from them here, and as they will claim the first place of the last chance qualifiers, being the first team to be directly invited now to the International 11 group stage. So congratulations to them. Very impressed by the performance of basically everyone. This was a stomp. You know, Puppey played his role really well, silently farming on the Chen, making calls, you know, doing what he needs to do on his hero. In the offlane too, you know, immaculate performance as usual from Rezo and Zayats here. Like, this duo has been really great and a pleasure to watch. Very strong laning combination. You have to keep in mind, Nyx Assassin is probably one of the weakest laners in Dota right now, and yet they somehow make it work in the laning stage every single time. And special shout out to Crystallis this game. Like, he had a hard role to play this game, but he played it well, kind of just playing the sacrificial carry role, kind of letting his team get all the space, and he just had to get what he could. Then of course Nisha, all the space in the world, but he delivered with it. This magic damage Lina build was really fun to watch. The damage outputs, I wish this game went longer so we could actually fully see the true potential of this build and how much damage it could actually do.